Hi, I'm Beverly Banor Brown. Today our topic on Codependency Revealed is all about how a narcissist, an energy vampire, crazy maker, drama queen, or drama king can trigger or lure someone who has some codependency going on because of the codependent's need, which arose undoubtedly in early childhood, to be seen, to be heard, to be acknowledged, to be recognized for having their own independent ideas and thoughts and inherent dignity. Not to mention ingenuity, resourcefulness, industriousness, and all kinds of other wonderful qualities which you undoubtedly had and still have, and may never have been fully recognized in your childhood by someone who was very, very critically important to you. Hi, I'm Beverly Banor Brown, and that is a very important topic whenever you're trying to heal from what might be or what you know is codependency. Everyone wants to be appreciated. Children are no different. Everyone needs to feel nurtured and appreciated and nourished by positive attention being paid to them, to their thoughts, their needs, their wishes and aspirations, their goals. And so many children in childhood and in early toddlerhood and even infancy have such powerfully self-absorbed caregivers who are often either absent much of the day because they're out working at jobs that they may or may not be very happy with, may or may not be home because of other issues going on. There may be chronic illnesses, there may be marital problems, family issues going on, any number of things, schooling, studying, that take them away from being able to focus like a laser beam, the attention, the nurturing that a child needs in order to form healthy attachment bonding that is secure with the primary caregivers. So many homes these days are not being headed by two parents in a stable relationship. They're very often single parent situations, or children who are being raised by grandparents or aunts, uncles, foster homes. And believe me, there are so many cases of people who have emerged from those settings that are absolutely fine, that are completely comfortable and secure within themselves, and who do get their needs met, and who do have a secure attachment bond to whoever the primary caregiver is. Please be clear that I offer this educationally, and I'm not disparaging anybody. We don't have to be the biological mother or father, or even grandparent, uncle or aunt, to do a marvelous job at child rearing. There are many different forms, there are many, many different settings. Even an orphanage can be a wonderful place if, and it's a big if, the people in it are sufficiently caring and sufficiently sensitive and responsive to the needs of the children. So, all of that being said, how does self-absorption in a narcissistic personality frustrate the hell out of the codependent, and also how does it lead to the person doing everything imaginable that they possibly can to get that attention, to be seen, to be appreciated? How does that self-absorption lead to the person feeling that they've got to do everything in their power, work overtime, so to speak, because they've been triggered by a lack from their childhood, and the person sitting in front of them who has, and one of the primary symptoms of narcissistic personality is self-absorption, where it's all about them. They're always concerned only with how things affect them, how they can hedonistically get as much joy, as much happiness as they can in the moment, not very much impulse control, not very much delayed gratification. They want what they want when they want it. It's an idea of what can you do for me? What can you do for me now? And what have you done for me lately? So unless you're wearing rose-colored glasses and looking only at what you want to see about the person, the self-absorption that you're witnessing, instead of being a red flag to you that says right away, oh my God, this is a one-way street. This is a person who really doesn't have much time or energy left over after getting their own needs gratified to really share with me, to really have the kind of divine flow, the give and take, the sharing that any healthy relationship requires. And so once you understand that, what makes you stay? What makes you willing to keep working overtime? When they have an emergency, when there's some urgent crisis going on, something they forgot to do conveniently till the last moment, and now want you to rush in and take over for them. Maybe, let me give you an example from one of the many clients I've worked with for over the last 3 decades who had a situation like this, where she had many, many codependent aspects to her personality, which she was determined to heal from, and which she did heal from eventually. She told me about a number of situations with the person she was in relationship with at the time we first met, who was so completely self-absorbed that anytime they had a conversation, he was busy also looking at the newspaper, checking his smartphone, looking out the window, looking at whoever else was in the restaurant who he might know or who might be of interest to him in one way or another, probably somebody he wanted to flirt with, right in front of the person who he was supposedly having a monogamous relationship with. And instead of being able to just say, wow, this is really not going well. This is a man who doesn't find me very scintillating, doesn't find me to be of much meaning and purpose. And this is somebody who I really know that whenever something matters deeply to me that feels really significant, he just sort of tunes it out. And inevitably brings up something that he's thrilled about or wants to pursue. What's wrong with this picture? Well, rose-colored glasses time. The question would get asked, but until we started to work together on who this person really was triggering for her, and she could take off the rose-colored glasses long enough to see who was really showing up, she was stuck in rose-colored glass mode of rationalizing his bad behavior as just symptomatic of him being a busy guy. But you know what? There are a lot of busy guys and a lot of busy women out there. But they have their priorities straight. And when their partner or their date or their friend or their family member or their coworker needs to speak to them or wants to speak to them, the mail was just delivered and I wasn't expecting it. That's what happens when you have a movie studio in your home sometimes. Anyway, sorry for the digression. Where was I? When you realize that people who really have their priorities straight do make sure that they do spend the time and they do devote the attention to the person in front of them, and they don't sit there checking last month's National Geographic or any other magazine or checking the movie schedule for next month or whatever form it's taken. Because they know what's important, and they know about basic civility, and they know the difference between being polite and attentive versus being rude and totally self-focused. There is a time and place, after all, for us to be self-absorbed. There are moments when if we're not feeling well and we need to give ourselves the energy, the time, the focus to rest, to renew, to reinvigorate ourselves. That's understandable. If something major has happened, there's a crisis at work, or there's something going on that's heavy in the family, and you need to talk about it, of course. You might actually say to the person that you're with, I hate to be so self-absorbed, and this is what's going on. I really would find it incredibly generous on your part if you'd listen to me. And let's talk about what you wanted to discuss afterwards, if that's okay with you. How would you feel about that so that the person feels recognized? That's all people want mostly from you. They want to know you've heard them. They want to know that you've seen their situation, that you have some ability to empathize with them, and then they'll usually be extremely generous. Not just out of politeness or a sense of responsibility and obligation, but from the heart. Most people are benevolent by nature, but you got to give them a chance. So, getting back to what is the lure, let me share some golden nuggets with you today that I believe can help you if you're finding that there is a lure, like you've got your mouth with the hook in it, and the narcissist or energy vampire are reeling you in continuously. And the more self-absorbed they seem, the more you struggle to jump higher and higher and higher through the hoops, praying for, yearning for, craving their attention. Golden nugget number 1, from my heart right to yours. It is a huge red flag when somebody repeatedly is self-absorbed and does not give you the kind of attention and the kind of appreciation that we all have a right to deserve, and we all have a right to expect, and because we all have a right to deserve it. We're worthy, in other words. Golden nugget number 2. If you see the red flag and you start to make rationalizations about it and just make excuses for the person, and this goes on for weeks, for maybe months, or maybe even in some cases years at a time, then you have a pretty good tip-off that quite possibly this person is triggering a memory, a cellular memory, a subconscious memory of someone in your early life who did this with you and who you wanted desperately to feel approval from. Golden nugget, next golden nugget. Please, if it feels right to you, take a few moments to be still when you're not driving or doing some other task which requires a lot of focus and attention. Take some deep abdominal breaths in and out. Take in the energy of life. Know that with every breath out, you can let go of more and more fatigue or stress or tension. And know that with every breath in, you take in more insight, more awareness, more of a sense of the gentleness that life can bring. And in that space, just ask yourself, what am I prepared to do about this? How can I see this person as a spiritual teacher who has come to show me an opportunity to liberate myself from whatever that unfinished business was with this person from my childhood? And then from that place of looking for the gift, rather than seeing it as a punishment, rather than viewing it as a nightmare, which it also can feel like, you may just find that you get yourself some information that will arm you with the necessary empowerment to make some different choices. I'm Beverly Bannow Brown. As always, it's wonderful to have this time with you. And until next time, namaste. I bow to the light that is in all of us, in you and in me and in everyone we know and everyone we have known and everyone we ever will know. Bye for now, and many blessings.